Robert, while we're on the topic of lending and borrowing money,
Yes.
you have $3.6 million handy?
Well, only if you got 12% for me.
Well, I don't have 12%, but on this
Oh, then
episode,
what's the security?
that's the, there is no security. Well, okay, I'll tell you what the security is on this episode of Real Estate Chat with
Jonder Perez.
and Robert E. Everybody's greatest fear. Could you imagine if downtown Toronto became a ghost town? If all industry, which it seems to me that the entire industry of downtown Toronto is based on banking and finance and money related things and maybe some startup tech companies. But imagine if all that got wiped out one day and it became a ghost town. What would those buildings be worth, you think?
Well, on the income approach, they would be worth a lot less. And then if they were old buildings and they weren't up to A-class standards and they maybe didn't have all the elevators and all the air conditioning and maybe they had some asbestos on their pipes, well, you better knock them down.
Well, I mean, the value of it is subjective to whatever's happening around.
It's
That's
the revenue, yeah.
what real estate is. And in one place, and I don't know how do you even begin? There's one city in the United States where a skyscraper that had previously sold at peak in the $200 million sold for $3.6 million just recently. And it's in St. Louis. Did I pronounce that right, Robert? St. Louis? Or is
I
it
would
St.
say St.
Louis?
Louis, yeah. St.
St.
Louis, Missouri.
No, but okay, so St. Louis. So one of St. Louis' tallest office towers empty for years,
Empty for years.
indicative of what's it's been like there.
Well, they
Self,
lost a tenant and nobody would pay what the previous tenant was paying, and nobody wants to go in there because it was all COVID crazy.
well, hey, $3.6 million, you and I could have, and a whole bunch of maybe
Hey,
other
we
real
could have
estate
got
chat.
36 guys with 100 grand each and bought it. Yeah.
There you go. So
What
real
are you
estate
going to do
chat
with it?
viewers.
Nobody wants to move in.
Well, stay tuned, real estate chat viewers. We're going to start a fund
Uh,
at when we reach 10,000 followers or
that's it.
100,000.
That'll be our syndicate.
There you go. Our syndicate.
Investment syndicate. Yes.
Goldman Group buys a 44-story former AT&T office for 3.6 million, and it hit $205 million back in 2006. Could you believe that at one point, and all that money is just gone, poof, 200 million plus dollars.
Well, remember this is quite some time ago, and there was a bubble happening then. And there was a time when you just bought things because you thought there was a greater fool who was going to buy them from you, and it was secured by a long-term lease from AT&T. And then all of a sudden, AT&T is not there, so things change.
Things do change. I mean, this is a great building, and I don't know what the Goldman Group plans to do with it, but quite a steal. And I can imagine even if you did raise $3.6 million to buy this building, the taxes, the property maintenance, the security, because I mean, should we share this other article that, for interest's sake, and because many of you real estate chat viewers who like and subscribe to our channel would like to read the inner workings of these stories, I'll share this as a secondary article to this. The real estate nightmare unfolding in downtown St. Louis. Office district is empty, boarded up towers, copper thieves, and failing retail. Panera. When Panera is your anchor to bring the community in, Panera is the food, so the bread company, right? You go in for sandwiches and bread and all that. We had one at our Richmond Hill Remax Hallmark office across the street where Hillcrest Mall is. Um,
Closed.
closed down. And guess what's going to go there? Condos. Condos are going up
Oh
there.
yeah,
Right
every
here,
parking lot, every
but
parking
here in
lot.
St. Louis, nothing's going up. Right? Like
Mm.
it's what the streets look like. There's skateboarders going into the buildings. Police are going in, telling them to, hey, get out of here, but they still come back. Uh, businesses are suffering. Stores, I guess the shopping mall too. Look at this parking garage here that they've
Mhm.
graffitied.
Yeah.
Graffitied stores. Sorry, streets are closed. And could you imagine something like this happening in any city? Right, there's a donut shop that they've been broken into. The windows have been broken. The graffiti on the truck. This is the sad reality and the nightmare that could happen in real estate. Robert, will that happen here?
Well, it sort of happened in Montreal when the government of the day decided that they were going to separate, and so all the Anglo people left. But in this case, it's a gradual decay. It's like what happened to Detroit? industry moves. I don't know what's the previous boom uh, market maker in St. Louis was, but I think you'll find that the downtown got hollowed out. You see hollowing out all the time. That's why Toronto has so many condos downtown. And it's been going for a long time because it was safe to live downtown, where you wouldn't want to move downtown St. Louis. You wouldn't want to move downtown and put $800,000 into downtown Detroit. You just wouldn't do it. That's why there's acres and acres of vacant lands, and they knock it down because the taxes are reduced on vacant land. So it's one of the um, outcomes from bad planning. It's one of the outcomes from not looking forward if you're the municipal council. And if you're of a certain group and you decide to leave because of the negative influences that make you feel uncomfortable, well, then whatever's left behind, it either reblooms or it withers.
Well, I also don't know too much about the industry. I mean, I did a quick Google search, and main industries in St. Louis, aviation, biotech, chemicals, electrical, utilities, financial services, beverage, food, manufacturing, life sciences, medical research, plant sciences, refining, telecom, which is why
Sounds
AT&T.
like they need suburban sites,
Transportation.
not downtown.
Well, I mean, so this is what's interesting too, because I've read a couple of articles on this as well, and that coastal cities such as New York, such as San Francisco, are now thriving despite the work from home during pandemic. People are returning to the offices, not in all places, but in enough places. But St. Louis is out in the middle of, is it fair to say it's like out in the middle of
It's the
nowhere?
gateway to the West at one time. It's just nobody's going that way anymore.
Yeah. And so how does this affect St. Louis real estate,
Of
condos,
course, of course,
houses,
of
just
course.
like what
If
happened
they
in
can't
Detroit?
attract a population, if the population is going away, then they can't attract businesses. And phase two, and
Oh,
then complete waste and start again.
aren't you glad you are living in Toronto?
Absolutely.
Real estate chat viewers, tell us where you're from. If you're from St. Louis, tell us what's happening there. I'm sure some good stuff is happening there as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not all bad stuff. I mean, but downtown to be eradicated like that, and a fire sale on these
Look
skyscrapers.
pretty new. Yeah, look pretty new. 20
If you're
years.
interested in investing in the real estate chat, what did we call it? The real estate chat
Investment syndicate.
investment syndicate,
Hmm.
RECIS. Actually, we can't say that because we're not licensed to sell investments. But anyway, leave into the comments with your thoughts about this. Thanks for watching this episode of Real Estate Chat. Stay tuned for future syndicate. Take care and bye for now.
See you later. Bye for now.